Thanks for checking out this video. I'll be going over the steps of the research process, how to find sources on the MVCC library website, including in the databases and library catalog, and effective search strategies to find sources successfully. Let's start off with the research process. The first step in the research process is to closely examine the assignment requirements. What's your professor expecting? If you have any questions about the assignment, be sure to clear up any confusion with your professor. After you understand what's expected of you, choose a topic. Try to choose a topic you feel strongly about. Don't pick a topic just because you think it's going to be easy to find information on. Pick something you have a personal connection to. Once you understand the objective and requirements of your project, and you have a topic in mind, the next step is to conduct background research. This will help you become familiar with your topic, form opinions and arguments, and develop keywords to use when you start doing in-depth research. Usually students start with a broad topic that will need to be narrowed down. Before you narrow a broad topic, you'll need to get to know your topic better. Background research to get to know your topic better can take place in Google, dictionaries, encyclopedias, on the library website, or a textbook. Keep in mind a Wikipedia page is not considered an acceptable source to cite in your academic papers, but encyclopedias are a good starting point to get oriented at the beginning of your research. In background research materials, you may find your topic is called something entirely different in the scientific or medical community from terms you would normally use. Background sources may also springboard you into other sources to get more in-depth information. As a librarian, I often see one or two things take place during this phase of a student's research process. Either they get stuck in this phase and just focus their research on a broad topic in broad general research sources like websites or encyclopedias, or they skip over this step entirely and jump right into these dense, scholarly sources without getting a broad overview of the issue first. You need to get a good foundational knowledge of a topic before diving into more critical pieces like scholarly journals or research studies. Otherwise, the more dense critical pieces of research won't make sense and the information will be too overwhelming. Once you have background research, it's time to narrow them down into at least one focused, clear research question. Research questions serve as a guide for the kind of specific information you'll need to compile on your topic. A strong research question will focus and narrow your research and should generate interest by addressing an important issue. A research question should not be able to be answered with a yes or no. Some good examples of research questions include: how do colleges respond to the rise in resident students requesting emotional support animals? What are implications of human genetic engineering? Could it lead to creating a genetically privileged elite? What impact does the media have on children's perception of body image? How can this be mitigated? All of these questions address an important issue, and they can't be answered with a yes or no. And the answer to the questions is an arguable point. Keep in mind that your research question and position may change. As you research, you may find information that will cause you to adjust your initial perspective. Keep an open mind and stay flexible. Once you form some questions and have a specific information need, you'll be ready for more critical sources that will get more in-depth with your focus and more substance than a textbook or encyclopedia article. The more meatier sources are articles from high-profile newspapers like New York Times or Wall Street Journal, academically published books found in the library, and scholarly journal articles. These sources can be found on the library website, which we'll get to shortly. As you are searching for sources, you will always need to be evaluating your sources. I like using the CRAFT test. Question the currency, relevance, authority, accuracy, and purpose of the article or book. Ask yourself, why was this source created? Who was it written for? What's the purpose? Does the author exhibit any bias? Is the author being paid by an organization that has a particular agenda? Is the information up to date? Is the information accurate? There's a lot of questions you should be wondering about as you evaluate your sources. Many of these questions are easily answered with sources on the library website, but harder to answer on the open web. But you should still be evaluating sources even if you're finding them on the library website. Don't take everything you find as fact. The library subscribes to a variety of sources, and some of them are written by very liberal sources, and some are coming from very conservative organizations. Use your critical thinking skills and always evaluate your sources. Then, of course, there's the writing phase of the research paper. Throughout the research process, you should be keeping detailed notes about your ideas, evaluation of sources, and where you got your information, and citation information. Different pre-writing strategies work for different people. Some people like outlining, others like cluster mapping, some like free writing. I always tell students to meet with a writing tutor at the beginning of your writing process to talk about your ideas and organize your thoughts. They'll help you narrow down a topic. Then when you have a draft, meet with them again. Even if you think you're the best writer in the world, it's always helpful to get an objective opinion and another set of eyes to tell you if your ideas are being communicated in an effective manner. Make sure you're citing any outside sources. If you don't give credit to your sources, you'll be committing plagiarism, which can lead you to failing the assignment and possibly more serious consequences. If you don't know how to cite, ask a writing tutor or a librarian. There are also citation guides in the library and writing lab website. So here's another example of a research question. Let's say you start out with a broad topic of music, but music is too broad of a topic to do a research paper on. As you do some background research, you become more interested in how music affects college students, which leads you to the question of how music affects the memory of college students while they're studying. It's a good idea to write down your questions so you keep track of your thought process, and it provides a mission for your information search. I like circling any of the major keywords of your research question. These words will be your keywords while you're searching on the library website. And it's also a good idea to brainstorm other words that mean relatively the same thing, or you consider broader or narrower terms. The words you may use to describe a topic may not be the same words that other experts use when they write about the topic. Keep your eyes open to assign keywords and subject terms that authors use in their articles. These subject-specific terms will be good future search terms to find other relevant articles. Your professor is expecting you to analyze scholarly sources in your argumentative paper. Scholarly sources are not typically found through Google. Google Scholar is a good option, but you may run into paywalls preventing you from accessing full articles. The library website is the best place to go for scholarly research as a college student. To get to the library website from the MVCC homepage, hover over Current Students and select the book icon. A good place to start research is with the Search Almost Everything box. It will search a number of databases at once. It doesn't search everything though, it's just a good place to start. Let's say you're interested in the topic of emotional support animals. Enter your topic in the search box. Don't search with sentences, just use keywords and connect them in a meaningful manner. If you enter in a broad search term, the first search result may be a research starter. It's coming from an encyclopedia. This is a good place to get background information to get to know your topic better. To open the article, just click on the article title. If you plan on using this source in your research paper, be sure to save the citation information. There's a significant advantage when you're using library sources because it produces a citation for you. On the right-hand side are all these different tools. If you click on Cite, this is a list of how to cite this article in different citation styles. Since we're in English class, we need to cite this in MLA style. So I just have to scroll down until I find MLA, and then I can copy and paste this either in an email or a Word document so I can save it. These citations aren't always correct though. You do need to proofread them. For example, I see that this article includes the author's degree. You don't need to include that in a citation, so I would need to remove that before finishing my paper. It's also a good idea to include an access date at the end of a source if you retrieved it online. A couple of search strategies that might prove helpful for you. If you're searching with a phrase, like I am, put quotation marks around it. It'll help make your search results more relevant. And you can also add more words to either narrow or expand your results. I'll add college. And another word for college may be university. Perhaps I'm interested in looking into how colleges and universities deal with students that want to bring an emotional support animal to campus. So with my search example, I have my phrase in quotation marks, and I'm adding the words college or university. So I'm telling the database I want this phrase and I want either one of these terms to come up in my search results. So let's see how this impacts my results. So now I have significantly less results, but my results are more relevant to what I'm looking for. You'll notice that there's a variety of types of sources in your search results when you use this search almost everything. You're retrieving academic journals, popular magazines, newspapers, possibly government reports, and even you might be getting some physical books or ebooks in your results as well. If you want to narrow results where you just want to look at scholarly journal articles, you can select academic journals and it'll update your results to retrieve only scholarly journal articles. To look more into an article, click on the title. It'll provide the authors, where it was written, whether it's peer-reviewed or not, and an abstract. Abstract is a summary of the article, so you can decide whether or not it's really relevant to your information need. If everything looks good, click on the PDF full text, and that'll open the full article. And there are several tools with this database as well. You can print the article out, download it to your account, save it to a Google account, email it to yourself, and then there's our citation button again. So I can save the citation so I don't have to try to track the citation down later or try to recreate the citation yourself. Saves a lot of time. Be sure to save your citations. After you're done exploring the results in the Search Almost Everything option, there are more places to search in the library website. Don't focus your entire research just on that Search Almost Everything option, because if you do, you're really limiting yourself. We have a lot more to offer on the library website. Click on Databases. Databases are kind of like buckets that are holding electronic sources. We've subscribed to over 100 different databases, and it can be kind of hard to choose which one's the best for your topic. If you use the Subject drop-down menu, you can choose the subject and it'll tell you which databases are best for that topic. If you're not sure which database to use, I would recommend Academic OneFile or Academic Search Complete. They're good general databases that cover a variety of topics but have a lot of scholarly sources in them. Another one you might want to check out is Opposing Viewpoints in Context. It focuses on controversial, timely issues, and it gives multiple viewpoints on the same issue. So if I click on O, that's where Opposing Viewpoints in Context will be. I'll click on it. By the way, if you're trying to access articles and databases from off campus, it'll ask you to sign in. The sign-in is the same MVCC username and password you use to log into your email or a campus computer. First initial, last name, day of birth, and last four of your social. So I'm going to search for my topic again. Oftentimes you'll find a general topic page. So this is good for more like the background research phase. It's going to give a broad overview about the topic and give a little context of what's going on with this controversial issue. And then below is a variety of types of sources. Some are very opinionated essays that wouldn't be considered from a scholarly source. But if you're looking for a scholarly source, check out the academic journals. Reference, they're more for a general overview about a topic. And there also might be some videos. These are coming from New York Times, or podcasts. You'll often find NPR podcasts in this database. Magazines, newspapers, websites. So a variety of type of sources. And no matter what source you use, there'll all be these tools associated with the article. So you can save a citation for sources found on this database too. I'm going to open up one more database just to demonstrate it. I'll try Academic OneFile. I'll add quotation marks around my phrase. You'll just click on the article title and it'll link you to the full article. And there's my citation button and all my other tools that I can do with this article. All right, I'm going to exit out of here. And just a quick demonstration of how to find whether the library has a book on your topic too. Library books can be another scholarly source for your paper. The library catalog is the best place to find out what books the Utica and Rome campus libraries have available. So I'm going to click on Library Catalog from the library website homepage. You can search by title or if there's a specific author you're looking for. Most often you're going to be using just a keyword. So let's say I'm interested in researching, I'm going to change gears now, human genetic engineering. If you're searching with a phrase, you can use quotation marks around it too. The library catalog also has a words adjacent option, meaning you're telling the database you want these words to appear together in the record. So a list of books will appear. It'll tell you who wrote it, what the title is, and call number and where it's located. So the call number is the location on the shelf that the book is residing, and make sure you know which campus library is located, because we do have 2 libraries, one in Utica, one in Rome. And something else I want to highlight as well, this class is special because there's a research guide available. A research guide is like a one-stop shopping place for resources related to an assignment. Not all classes have a research guide. It's only available if the professor requests one created for the assignment. To get to the course guide, select Research Guides from the library homepage. On the right-hand side, click this drop-down menu. We're in English class, so I'm going to select English courses and go, and just hover over your class name and choose your professor. The course guide has a collection of relevant databases that would be good to search for the particular assignment. It also has an embedded search box to search for library books in the library catalog, and it has a collection of citation help. So this MLA citation guide will give you examples of how to cite particular sources. So if you're citing a website, you can select Work on Website, and it'll give you a template and an example of what it looks like. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact me. I'm usually at the Learning Commons in the IT building, but there's always a librarian available during library hours on either campus library. So don't hesitate to contact a librarian if you get stuck in the research process. Hang in there and good luck.